I've been teaching environmental education for about 25 years and doing citizen science pretty regularly as a technique for about the past 15. And I find it's a really great way to match helping teachers teach what they need to teach, giving the park good information, and making it fun and interesting for the students.
So in this project, we were working with the Gray Hills Academy out on the Navajo Reservation, and it was a great opportunity to connect with one of the tribal schools here in the region. Because the tribes have such deep connections to Grand Canyon through history and through time, it's a great way to connect the youth and also learn something.
They really have seemed to grasp and latch on to this idea that there's real-time science that they can take part in. And so it's been fun just seeing that spark.
Something that they're going to be involved in, and that this is real science, this is hands-on, and this is what scientists do.
We've got anemometers where they measure the wind speed, laser thermometers that they use to measure the temperature in different locations. We've got measuring devices that they utilize to do transects in lava tube caves. We also encourage the kids to utilize their senses when they're out there. It's not all about technology.
The students just feel more engaged because they know we're keeping the data, we're taking it seriously.
So right now we are at Kings Canyon Elementary School on the Hopi Nation, looking at different kinds of plants for determining levels of air pollution and ozone damage.
The Carnivores project here at the Tohono High School was a meeting of the minds between us and the National Park Service. The purpose was to monitor carnivores. We had a team of individuals, including myself and a couple of science teachers, that decided this would be a perfect project for them because it was a hands-on project and provided them an insight into basic research studies of animals.
The program that we'll be doing with the kids here today is called Life in the Extreme. So the big question they're exploring is how can animals and plants survive in such a stark landscape?
Right now it's very important for students to be exposed to science in general, but also exposed to getting outside. Nature is a good thing. We want to learn about our environment and what's around us because ultimately that's what keeps us alive. We need this planet to live.
It's vital that students now are having opportunities to learn how they can help their community. And this particular group of students, we are looking at climate change because their community is right on the ocean. And so we've had opportunities to discuss how maybe the beach is going to respond to a rising sea level. What's going to change if water temperatures rise?
The kids were very engaged. They loved the hands-on part of it. And once they got into learning what the information was about, they were able to talk about it.
It ties in to a lot of the lessons that we've been planning for our after-school program, particularly the science-based, linking and tying it into things that we're already learning about our environment.
Being able to see all the concepts that you learn in the classroom from a textbook, from reading, actually happening in real life is really important to kind of solidify your own understanding. And a lot of the comments that I've heard on this program and other programs are students being like, hey, this is just like something we read about, or like this is a definition that we already knew, and like pulling on that background knowledge to actually see it happen in real life because we don't live our lives in textbooks, we live them, in reality.
I think you have the type of kid sometimes that doesn't want to connect to science in the classroom. I think by us going out in the community and letting them experience for themselves, the animals, the movements that they take, the type of behavior that animals partake out there, proved to be very valuable for them as well as ourselves.
They took away from the project what kind of questions to ask. I encourage them to be like that in everyday life because, that's the biggest skill that we can teach these kids.
Kids who were quiet opened up and were fascinated by what they were finding. Being able to see the look on their face when they found something. What is this? What is this? And they loved it.
Having the kids come up and hug you afterwards and thank you, and you talk to the counselors and the counselors are like, I have kids coming up asking, are they coming back? Is the park ranger coming back? When are they coming? It's been like a nice little sweet spot.
There and bringing them to the park, getting them excited, and something to look forward to. And it's something as simple as this that's really important, and just to kind of encourage them more toward the STEM fields, because I think in Indian country, we don't have enough Native American representation in the STEM fields.
Bigger picture, we want to get kids to the park. That's really what I'm trying to do. Get kids to the park and connect them. So STEM is a way I can do that. Anytime the kids are actively involved in learning, whether it's their artistic representations that they're doing for us, or they're looking for fossils, or they're looking for plants, that's how we address the STEM. That's a method to connect kids to the park.
I think the value of getting students out into the field to objectively look at the resource is extremely important for creating a generation of future stewards.
In the National Park Service, we talk a lot about preserving and protecting these places for future generations. We need to seriously invest in youth, make sure that they're exposed to the parks and that they appreciate these places. That's the most important thing to me. We're not just entertaining tourists, we're reaching out to these kids, and they're going to have the greatest impact long term on the national parks, and we better get them on our side.
I love being on the ground with the kids. Being in the classroom with them and teaching them has just been so amazing, because these kids, they need something in their life. You know, a lot of them come from broken homes. There's a lot of poverty in that area. Just a lot of things that are really striking that community. So knowing that this project has made a difference in those kids' lives has been huge.